we're going to explain interfaces in JavaScript. JavaScript doesn't have interfaces in the same way that languages like TypeScript or Java do. In those languages, an interface defines a contract, a shape that classes must adhere to. It specifies the methods and properties a class must have, ensuring consistency. However, JavaScript is dynamically typed, meaning type checking happens at runtime, not compile time. This affects how we approach the concept of interfaces. We can achieve similar functionality using a few different techniques. 1. Using TypeScript. The easiest way to get true interfaces in your JavaScript projects is to use TypeScript. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript that adds static typing and interfaces. If you define an interface in TypeScript, the compiler will enforce that any class implementing that interface correctly defines all the required properties and methods. This provides compile-time type checking, preventing errors before your code runs. For example, you could create an interface called animal with properties like name and a method makeSound. Any class claiming to be an animal in TypeScript would then be forced to have those properties and a method. 2. Using JavaScript's duck typing. JavaScript relies on duck typing. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then it must be a duck. This means that if an object has the necessary methods and properties, it's considered to conform to a certain interface, even without a formal interface definition. You wouldn't enforce this with code, but you'd rely on conventions and documentation to indicate expected behavior. For example, if your code expects an object with a calculate area type method, any object providing that method will work, regardless of its actual type or class. 3. Using comments and documentation. To mimic interfaces in plain JavaScript, you can use comments and detailed documentation to specify what methods and properties an object should possess. This helps other developers understand the expected structure, but it doesn't offer any runtime or compile time enforcement. It's crucial for maintainability and collaboration to clearly define these expectations, however. This is less powerful than TypeScript's approach, relying solely on developer discipline. 4. Linting and code analysis tools. Tools like ESLint can help to enforce coding standards, though they won't create true interfaces. You can configure ESLint to check for the presence of certain properties or methods in objects, offering a degree of structural validation, but falling short of the guarantees provided by a true interface system. These tools offer checks and warnings to help with maintaining consistency, but don't enforce the interfaces. In summary, while JavaScript lacks built-in interfaces like TypeScript, we can mimic their behavior using different methods. TypeScript offers the most robust solution with compile-time type checking. Plain JavaScript relies on duck typing, documentation, and linting tools for a less strict but still helpful approach. Choosing the best approach depends on your project's needs and whether you're willing to use TypeScript